What's good, everybody? So, let's do that again. What's good, everybody? So, I'm trying that again. What's good, everybody? So today we're going to be talking about the big bad Hoyoverse. Yes, ooh, this company that makes over $1 billion in revenue every single year, apart from this last year where they made under $1 billion for the first time in the year. Hoyoverse to EOS very soon. But apparently, this person AX, is this Elon Musk's child? Did Elon Musk's kid make this video AX? Yeah, so apparently Hoyoverse is becoming too greedy. So I'd love to watch this video and see exactly what Hoyoverse has been doing. Let's take a peek.
So I've noticed that recently Hoyoverse has been taking a different approach to the way they handle their monetization, and while it has been brewing for a long time, just recently it has seemed they might be going a little too far with it. So I wanted to make a video about it. This is my first video in this style, so I want to know what you guys think about it. Before we start, I need to lay out what type of player I am. I am max level in both Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact.
Oh, okay, max level, so they've at least grinded a fair amount. Okay, they've at least played the game. Genshin-kun, are you watching? They've at least played the games.
I have completed all the endgame. I typically pull just a character and sometimes their weapon. I have a few dupes of some characters, and I have one C6, that being Hu Tao.
Hu Tao C6? Oh, that's crazy. I like how these days in the gacha space, you kind of have to show your gacha credentials to kind of like prove your worth. To kind of like to prove your worth. I think I'll do that next time. I'll just flex my Genshin and Honkai Star Rail account so y'all know that I know what I'm talking about.
I buy the Welcome and the Battle Pass in both games, but I've recently stopped buying the Battle Pass in Genshin because I just don't really need it anymore. I'm not against spending money in any of these games, but over time I felt the—
Oh my god, he has a lot of characters. He has a litty. Oh my god, he's got so many.
Want to do so much less unless I really like that character.
Okay, he has basically every character. Holy fuck. He even has Jade. Oh my god, this man is kitted out. This man is kitted out. Is he a greedy stupid? Yo, is he a Mr. Greedy and Stupid? Oh, that's crazy.
And watching Hoyoverse get a lot more daring with their monetization over time has made that a lot worse.
Honkai Star Rail.
I really do think Honkai Star Rail did start out as a generous game. They gave out a lot of pulls on launch, much more than Genshin Impact, and had a lot of people were very happy about that.
Yeah, but are we going to talk about the fact that the pulls per banner is actually very different between the games? And Honkai Star Rail, you get a lot less pulls per banner in this game. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
In the first few months of the game, you didn't have to pull light cones since they were nothing but stat boosts. The only thing you had to worry about was getting some elemental coverage, which doesn't really matter anymore. You could have fun running your Dill and Fall of an Aeon and still clearing with no issues. And Honkai Star Rail appeared even more generous with the release of Dr. Ratio, who is completely free and didn't require you to pull him.
No one fucking uses Dr. Ratio. I never used Dr. Ratio. I always felt Dr. Ratio was a fucking scam. I always felt that Ratio was kind of a bit of a scam. Like, he's a single target hunt character follow-up. No, it was bait. It was bait. This free character was just hella, it was gigabait. It was gigabait. Because even though he's free, as a 5-star character, no one fucking uses him, really. Really. Even just as a normal 5-star, like, he might as well be on the standard banner. Like, he is definitely worthy of being a standard banner 5-star character. He's that, like, mid. He's genuinely that mid.
At all. He was also the beginning of the famous Genshin can never meme, which in hindsight was kind of stupid, but it was also kind of correct, because to this day, we have never gotten a free limited 5-star in Genshin Impact. Anyways, this generosity seemed to slow down a lot with the release of Penacony and especially Acheron in 2.1. If you were to ask me what character I thought was the most harmful to Honkai Star Rail's game state, Acheron would be my answer 99% of the time. I could honestly probably make a whole video about her impact on the game alone. Not only did she kick off the insane damage bloat, but she also had a very, very broken light cone. Now, if you don't know, Acheron, I remember I didn't pull for Acheron, and I did regret it at the time because she was so strong. But then after like a couple patches, I just kind of continued. I got Firefly, and then I was fine. Then I didn't care that I didn't get Acheron. I'll be honest. I got Firefly, did not care one bit that I didn't have Acheron. All these people like, oh my god, Acheron's like the character to use it for everything, whatever. Then Firefly came out, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care that I didn't get it. Yeah, no, I don't care that I didn't get Acheron.
Like, Hoyo kind of forced themselves. They had to. Because you have to have characters that are comparable in strength. Like, especially, like, patches that are consecutive. Like, you have, like, 2.1, 2.2, you can't have a character that's significantly worse. Like, everything has to be at least comparable. So if you raise the bar really high with Acheron, you kind of have to now keep it. You can't make something that's worse, especially like in the beginning of like a hype of a patch. Like, you just can't do it. You can't do it. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with how strong Acheron was so quickly.
Now, if you don't know, Acheron really likes debuffs. Her team needs to get 9 of them so she can launch a very powerful ultimate, the bulk of her damage. Her light cone gives 2 stacks on her ult instead of 1, along with a big damage boost and crit damage. It is probably the single biggest jump between S0 and S1 in the game. The reason I have such an issue with this light cone, as well as a few other light cones, is because it locks her ability to use her kit behind it. If we look at older units, most of them did not do that. They simply gave stat bonuses instead. Look at Jing Yuan's light cone. It gives an insane amount of stats and is a pretty universal option for a lot of Erudition characters. I like light cones like that, but Acheron's light cone is
Yes, light cones that you can use in other instances are really nice. Light cones that you could use on other characters or weapons you could use on other characters is the best kind of light cone to pull for. A very hyper-specific light cone to just make that one character's kit work is just bad. It is. It's bad. I don't like it. I don't think people should accept that kind of stuff. It's extremely predatory. Especially for something like Acheron. Like, for her to be busted, oh my god. No, it's not okay. It's not okay.
Game changing. This is very much a situation of creating the problem and selling you the solution. If they're going to do this, why don't they just make the weapon banner guaranteed?
Money!
I don't see the issue with that if they want to make light cones borderline required for certain units.
Oh, but it's a 75%, so it's kind of guaranteed. No, shut up! Shush! Cease! No, there's no excuse. When you have, like, 2 characters per patch in Honkai Star Rail, and you have reruns, and then you also have light cones, there's so many things to pull on. You need certain teams. You need to be pulling for a lot of characters in this game to have these compositions, these team comps to work. You need so many of them. And to not at least have something guaranteed, to have the light cones guaranteed, is crazy. Especially now when the light cones make the character's kit work in the first place. It's like, why? It doesn't make sense. And this goes for any gacha that does shit like this. Any of them that does stuff like this. It's bad. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Units. And I don't think this would lose them money either. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually increased player spending because then they would have the security knowing they can get the weapon with no drawbacks. Wuthering Waves already has it and everybody loves it, so I don't really see why they don't do it here.
The only thing that I don't like about the Wua pull banner is that the fact that the currency is different. Like, you have to use a different kind of currency to pull for it. That's the only thing I'm like, about it, but apart from that, the guaranteed weapon banner is great. Love that. Give us guaranteed things.
The problem is now they're trying to sell you the character and light comp package and or the entire team comp instead of just the character. You wanted to play Break? Well, you need to get Ranmei and Firefly who are both running at the same time. You wanted to play Follow Up? Hopefully you have enough for Face Shadow and Robin because they're both running at the same time or right after each other. Maybe if I wasn't—
Oh my god, I need to get Robin. Oh god, chat, I realized I need to get Robin. Oh my god, I need to play Honkai Star Rail after this and get Robin. Oh my god.
greedy and stupid, it wouldn't be an issue. But while I am glad the reruns are faster now, it's kind of a bit much. Personally, I would have liked it if we just got the one set of 3 like—
Yeah, Honkai Star Rail realized, oh god, these people need so many characters for them to even play our game. Let's give them 4 reruns every banner. Let's give them 4 reruns every banner, guys. Let's... Oh shit, we realized that you guys need like so many characters to even make these teams viable to use in our endgame content. Okay, give you 4 characters to pull for, all at the same time. Yeah, that's how they fixed the issue. That's how they fixed the issue.
we did back in 2.5. But when you have 8 characters running in one patch, including 2 new characters, and still not being given enough J's to even guarantee one is, I don't know about that.
I made a video about this. I made a whole video about this. You should go watch it. It's very cool.
And not to mention the power creep. where your characters fall to irrelevancy very quickly. This game's generosity is a facade. Think about it like this. If your game gives out 150 pulls, but you need 150 of them to keep up the endgame, then are you really generous? And I feel like recently in 3.0, all of this came around together in one big pile of dog shit. Every character rerunning was meta, except for Silverwolf, probably because Hoyo fucking hates her. The Herda is another example of blatant power creep, so yay. I'm sure she will require her light cone by the time her rerun comes around. Then we got Aglia.
Is the Herda, like, actually, like, really good? I did pull for her. I do have her kind of, like, semi-built. She kind of, like, was really cool. Do I still, like... Are there, like, supports for her now? Is it going to be Triby? Oh, my God.
She's a very good character. I even zero cycled with her. Now I can impress my 21.7% female viewer rate.
That's actually surprisingly high. I feel that's surprisingly high. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, seeing someone zero cycle? That shit turned me on, bro. Oh, yeah, you zero cycle? That shit good. That shit turned me on, man. Oh, yeah. Let me get a bit of that.
Ratio. She wants Sunday. That's understandable. But what I have a problem with is her E1. Her E1 gives her 20 energy on hit, and she wants all the energy she can get. She still works without it, but I hate it when they lock what should have been in their base kit behind Eidolons. What Eidolons and Constellations should be is quality of life features and just damage increases, not removing the bull.
I feel like we've had this discussion a lot. Like, these Hoyo games will lock basic things in character kits behind Eidolons to make you pull for them. I'm a believer that, like, Eidolons and Constellations, whatever you want to call it, dupes of characters, should be just, like, flat stat bonuses. I do. And I've always kind of felt that way. Does anyone feel otherwise? The best thing for the player is just to have dupes be flat out stat bonuses and increases. That's all it really should be. Looking all these features behind these Eidolons is just kind of, it's bad. I don't like it. Especially when they're core for their kit to function normally. Just to do a normal level of damage that isn't a pain in the ass.
Bullshit that Hoyoverse puts into their kit on purpose, it once again feels like yet another example of creating the problem and selling the solution. And another issue I've noticed is a lack of viable 4 stars.
I don't see anything as being locked behind Eidolons. I see Eidolons as extra. Well, when you lock certain features behind Eidolons, that means your character cannot perform optimally, and you're always going to be struggling to, like, use them correctly as kind of intended. I consider that to be, like, locked features in a kit. Like, really, Eidolons should always just be stat bonuses.
We have very few 4 stars that are actually good and used often. Out of the 20 plus 4 stars in the game, I can count the good ones on one hand, and that is a problem when 4 stars make up 34% of the roster. At least in Genshin, you have characters like Bennett and Xingqiu who are still amazing to this day, but there's nothing like that in Star Rail. And I can feel it when there's a grand total of 1 4-star I use on a daily basis. And the 4-star problem is amplified even farther when you realize that we only got 2 new banner 4 stars in all of 2024, and we have no new Amphoreys.
I remember I brought this up once in a conversation. I think it was even with Mr. Pokey. I was like, damn, like, are we okay with the lack of, like, comparable 4 stars in this game? And they're all like, yeah, it's fine. It's not an issue. I'm like, 4 stars are so important to, like, free-to-play players. They don't have to perform as well as 5 stars. But, like, a C6 4-star should at least be, like, pretty goddamn good. It should be pretty goddamn good. And there should be more of them. And there should be more options for free-to-play players. Like, you know, we like our own, like, their own version of Xiangling. Or Xingqiu in Genshin. Do you know what I mean? And I just always thought that was an odd kind of response to this sort of thing. I think having comparable 4 stars is a really good thing.
4-star in the drip marketing as of now. Meaning that the earliest
like, having a 4-star that gives, like, energy would be huge for free-to-play people.
4-star could be is around 5.3, which is around June. That's bad. So now is not only a problem the lack of viable 4 stars, but it's also a problem of not having any new 4 stars. Like, look at this selector. Yeah, this shit is so ass. These are just some of the reasons why I kind of don't like pulling for newer characters much anymore, because then I know that if I don't get everything for them, and there's no 4-star replacement, then put me in the corner of a hotel room and call me Sneeko because I am getting cucked. But as greedy as Honkai Star Rail is becoming, I don't think it's as bad as Genshin Impact. That's right, Genshin, you aren't safe from me. I've noticed ever since the beginning of Natlan, they've been getting pretty bold with their monetization. But that doesn't mean it wasn't there.
Yeah, having Sitlali and Malvika at the same time was crazy. That is some crazy predatory shit right there. Crazy predatory shit right there.
4. There was a weapon banner not having weapon charting. Luckily, we did get it fixed. Hail Tectone! There's also characters like Hu Tao who really wants her C1.
Do not hail Tectone. Do not hail Tectone. Hail Captain Cab. Do not do that. I will not tolerate any hails in my chat. Okay, I'm watching you. No, stop it now, cease, stop it. Okay, you're all banned. You're all banned. You're banned. No, stop it! Stop it now! Stop it now! I command you to stop! It's like you're trying to summon him! It's like you're trying to fucking summon him! Stop it! Cease! Immediately cease all actions! Immediately cease all actions! It's like you're trying to summon the fucking demon! It's like you're trying to summon the demon! Oh my god. Y'all trying to summon the fucking Gacha Devil, bro. Y'all are actually trying to summon the Gacha Devil. Fuck me. Bro, stop it! What are you doing? You all trying to summon the demon. The Gacha... Stop. He took out of his meds again. You can't deny it. Techie is goated. Okay. Alright, that's enough now. Okay, that's enough. Okay, calm down. Cease. Calm down now. Cease. Hush.
One. Trust me, I've played C0 and C1, and yeah, C1 does make her a lot easier to play. But as the game aged, things started to change. Throughout Fontaine, we got characters like Risley who really do like a C1, but Natlan, oh boy. Natlan brought it to a whole new level. They made pretty much every Natlan unit insane for exploration, but only in Natlan. So unless you want to use your Shalom and roller skates for a grand total of 3 seconds, you aren't going anywhere outside of Natlan. But if you do want to use them for exploration outside of Natlan, then you need to shell out another $300 because a lot of the Natlan characters have their Nightsoul usage reduced outside of combat in their C1s, meaning more exploration. They also added the new Nightsoul mechanics on all of the characters.
It's so silly. I've said before, my hot take is that I actually don't mind having exploration built into characters that you pull and buy for. I don't mind that. Like having cool exploration things in your characters. It's a gacha game. We pull for cool character kits. And to me that includes combat and exploration. So if we gacha for combat, we can also gacha exploration. Sure. Okay, whatever. But like, you get the character and you could only use them in one area is diabolical. It is diabolical. The fact that you can't then use them outside of that one area, like you are literally paying for a slice of a zone of the map. It's just not okay. It's just not okay. Like why? And then oh no, if you want to do it outside that line, now you have to have dupes. No, that's Hoyo, Darway. Give your head a wobble. Give your head a wobble. That is nuts. Not cool.
Characters. With that, you really want to play Natlan units in order to take full advantage of the Hero of Cinder City set. I won't go into too much detail about all the characters, otherwise this video would be way too long, but there's one character in specific that made this all just feel so much worse, and that character is none other than the Archon of the region herself, Malvika. I don't like Malvika's kit. Now, typically Archons will take advantage of the-
But she's got a bicycle. But she's got a motorbike. She's like really hot, and she has like really cool like a thing she's wearing. I wanna unzip her real good. I wanna unzip Malvika real good. You know what I mean? Yeah, but she's thick as fuck. I wanna unzip her and use her. Oh my god. Okay, that's crazy, right?
The unique mechanics that they bring in their region. Think of Nahida with Dendro or Farina with the HP drain. And Malvika is no exception to this. But the issue here is that Malvika is a DPS. She can work as a sub DPS support, but main DPS is where she shines, meaning that the
Honestly, I like Archons being supports.
team is made to support her. Mavuika needs stacks of fighting spirit.
I much prefer Archons being supports that like allow certain things to happen. Like that kind of like a enabler of certain compositions rather than they are the main DPS. I much prefer the supports.
To launch a burst nuke, and fighting spirit charges faster using night soul points. This means that she requires Natlan use in order to fully function properly. She works okay without them, but she heavily wants them. Mavuika is a lot like a shonen protagonist. While she might be kind of strong on her own, when she gets the power of friendship on her side, she becomes unbeatable. This is basically the equivalent of if Farina's buffs only worked on Fontaine characters. I think
That's
you can
so
see why that's a
dumb.
problem. Imagine you skipped early Natlan use for Mavuika, and then you find out that she needs them to be.
Yeah, it's like people like, oh, I'm gonna skip these characters because Malvika does everything these other characters do in terms of exploration. But oh, I needed them anyway. Oh, I needed the characters anyway for Malvika to work. Oh. This is also why people look at leaks. Because, like, if they know what Malvika kit would need, they'd be like, oh, I do have to pull for some of these characters to have Malvika work. And if you don't look at leaks, you wouldn't know stuff like that, right? And suddenly when Malvika comes around, you're like, oh, if we're actually here to be good, I should have pulled for the other ones. Oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, got your... Hoyo. Get your shit together. What's going on?
At her best. But don't worry, the game is nice to you, you see. They give you a free Kachina to play with your Mavuika.
Oh! Ew! Dude!
I can't be the only person who feels like them giving us these bad characters out for free almost feels like an insult at this point. But if you don't want to play Kachina, and I can't blame you because she's not too good, don't worry, there's another Natlan character that's running on Banner too that works perfectly with Mavuika, Sit Lolly. But there is a little problem. Hoyo decided to run both of these brand new characters on the same banner phase.
Yeah, because they're greedy. And they know that they'd sell. Because they know a lot of people would skip a lot of Natline characters to pull for Malvika. And then they realized, oh wait, I need something to support her. So they knew that they would also pull for Sitlali. Ooh, what's going on? What's going on?
This was the first time in Genshin history this has happened. And to add insult to injury, the Lantern Right rewards were in the second phase, meaning you lost all of those
So stupid. That's so stupid. It's so dumb. Oh, imagine not having like the currency on pulls and they put it on the next half of the match. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, you might as well punch my dick, bro. You might as well be punching my dick. Oh.
because Dawei needs to buy a sixth yacht. This was one of the scummiest things Hoyoverse has ever done. You know, I kind of wanted to pull from Mabuika because she's really fucking hot. But this decision was so bad I couldn't do it. This isn't the first time I've skipped characters because I don't agree with the price point or-
I was gonna pull for Malvika and then I didn't. I literally didn't because it seemed like such a pain in the ass to have a team for her. I actually didn't pull. It's the first time that I didn't pull for an Archon.
the practices, and this won't be the last. I can tell they wanted to milk as much money out of us, and that was just disappointing, to be honest. It's weird because last year, the internet was broken over 3 polls, but then when this happens, I barely saw anybody talking about it. And the greed isn't only on the characters, it's also extending to the enemies too. These new abysses have enemies that want Night Soul to break their shields. This shit was so annoying I had to bust out my benched Arlecchino to hopefully normal attack it until it died. I can probably make a whole video on the shortcomings of Natlan, and their newer approach to the way they monetize their game just made it so much worse. I do like Genshin, but man, these decisions are just getting worse and worse. As for Zenless Zone Zero, I don't really think it has any issues with greed yet. I've lost more gallons to that game than I have dollars, so I'm not really worried.
Well, the thing is with Zenless Zone Zero, I'm gonna make a video about this. It's the honeymoon of gacha games, right? And it's like relationships. It's like you gotta wait 2 years to see if it will work. And then after the 2-year point, a lot of the red flags start to rear their ugly head. They start to rear their ugly head and they become real problems. And that's when the bad shit happens. And you have to decide if you're gonna break up or not. It's usually the 2-year mark, right? So Zenless hasn't even been out a year yet, but we'll see. We'll see after 2 years where we end up. See how 2 years where we end up.
I will say the Wenjins are getting kind of ridiculous, and there might be a bigger issue with power creep if we keep going higher than Miyabi, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Now I know I've received comments about how it's a gacha game, and of course it's greedy and it's crossing into predatory, and you're right. Gacha games being greedy is about as common as chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant. Of course companies want to make money, but what's also important is how they do it. From what I've seen, Hoyo tends to skirt a fine line between being just generous enough to keep people somewhat satisfied, but not satisfied enough to the point where they don't want to spend money on it. And while this makes sense, it feels like they've been more on the stingy side of things as
Just be a tourist until it happens. Guys, I haven't been on Zenless since I pulled for Lida. It's bad.
late. If they go too much in a negative direction, while it might benefit them in the short term, I really don't think people stick around it for the long term. Except the Hoyo shills, of course. And we've seen clear examples of games that are much more fair with their monetization and respect their players, and they have a very dedicated fan base. Take Wuthering Waves for example. As much as people want to pit the fandoms against each other, WoW fans love the game for good reason, myself included. The weapon banner is guaranteed, and the pity is 80 instead of 90. You can buy dupes in the shop. I can't speak for everyone, but I am much more willing to spend money on that game because I know it's a lot more reasonable.
It's a lot more reasonable, and you're more likely to get the characters you want and have them work. And also, you don't have to worry about min-maxing your supports. You could use a lot of different supports for a lot of different characters and still clear the content of the game. A case in point, I did TOA with a Jinxie that I barely leveled up properly or maxed out properly with a level 1 Woo and a dogshit Verena, level 50 Verena. Woo was goated. Hail Wooa! Hail Wooa!
It may sound like a curlbot for this, but if giving a game its sweet flowers and mint is being a curlbot, then I guess I'm a curlbot. I know this video is probably going to be a bit controversial, but I really hope Hoyoverse improves some monetization.
Not controversial in the slightest.
I want a guaranteed weapon
very
banner.
valid.
I want more viable 4-stars. I want to have parts of kits not locked behind eidolons or light cones. I've seen people say that these games should be void of criticism because it's a gacha game or it's free. This is completely false.
Yeah,
this company is worth billions of dollars.
Actually, dumb and
they should be
stupid
held to the
behavior.
highest criticism possible. And the thing is, this company is what other games would look towards for a successful gacha game, meaning that all the stupid things that Hoyo puts in their game, case in point, the 50-50 on weapons, could end up in other games by other companies. And as a player, I don't want to have to deal with that in every other game that I play. Luckily, Wuthering Waves significantly improved it, and there are other games out there too with good gachas, and I'm hoping other games in the future do the same. The fact that a very successful gacha game doing what Hoyo couldn't in real time makes it feel so disappointing on Hoyo's end. Will any of this happen? Unlikely. But I love these games and I want them to improve. All I hope is that we see better in the future. Honkai Star announced some changes recently, so maybe we'll see some monetization changes.
Doubt it. I doubt we'll see monetization changes, and I think the changes they implemented aren't even that great anyway. So I don't really have that much hopes for Woo. Oh no, fucking Woo! Oh my god, Honkai Star Rail.
And as for Genshin, yeah, you guys are cooked. Before you click off, I just want to say thank you for reaching the end of this video. This is my first video like this, so I apologize if it's not the best.
No,
but if
it's
you guys
very
want more
well
videos
done
like these, then let me know. And any feedback is greatly appreciated.
This was a very well done video. It touched on, it's like a mishmash of a lot of the talking points that we've been saying. Yo! Hey, Mick, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This has been a really great video. It's kind of a mishmash of a lot of the talking points that we've had over the course of the last couple of weeks or months. It's a nice little roundup summary of the current state of Hoyoverse gacha games and kind of the main gachas as a whole. Pretty interesting. This was very, very well done. I'm going to give a subscribe to this. This is pretty cool. This is a great video. Very, very well done. It's a very, very well done video. And there's a lot, we have a lot to discuss. It's honestly a very interesting time for gacha. We have a lot of new upcoming ones, right? Woowa came out last year, ZZZ came out. Upcoming, we've got Ananta, Nevernest 10 Evernest, Azure Promilia. There are a lot of gacha games that are upcoming this year, and I think it's time for the big dogs to step down, and they've had their moment, and they're 2+ years to shine, and it's now the time for the next generation of gacha games to come to the forefront of the scene and to really shake up the space and really show what it's all about. Yeah, but you know, that's is what it is. People have spent a lot of money in Genshin, a lot of money in Honkai. They ain't gonna leave it anytime soon. They will always have their fan bases. and they will always make their money as long as they provide some content. They're not EOSing anytime soon. Don't worry, your game isn't going anywhere. I just think it's a good idea to maybe branch out and try out other games. See if there's something else that you like, and that's totally fine, and that's totally okay. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Leave a comment down below what you think. I'm live every day on Twitch, twitch.tv Cabinetz. Come check it out in the pinned comment. I'm probably live right now. Come say hi, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!